Alright, well, let's try this one more time. Let me go into Trimble SiteWorks here. I was going to work on sloping planes. I'm pretty sure I talked about it. I don't know if I ever actually did anything on it or showed you how to do it. Let me start this up. I'm not going to check in. Try to go as fast as I can here. Let's get into here. This was a little area that I was running into a problem. Okay, so I have this strip right here. It's about an 8-foot strip. I think it's exactly 8 foot of the roadway, and then I have an MVP, a maintenance vehicle pullout area. In the detail, it was showing that it just has to match the existing shoulder grade, which is anywhere from 1.6 to 2.25. We just decided to go with an even 2% cross slope all the way across here. Okay. Now, what happened was in the model, where we have to match a saw cut line, the existing asphalt. We don't have any overlay or anything. And the model was coming out about 3/10 lower than the existing asphalt for some reason. There were some discrepancies in the grade. They tried to rework the model a little bit, but for some reason it didn't work out, and the guy just took this section completely out. Okay. So I have it in the model. Now you can go through and you can swede this or use an eye level or both, however you want to do it. And honestly, it's probably just as accurate as doing it with the GPS or the total station if you're good at it. I just, because I was by myself and I don't want to pack a bunch of extra stuff, I just wanted to shoot the points and be able to come through here. So what I did was I just went along the saw cut line and I looked for any big discrepancies in the elevations and stuff, and that's how I made the decision to put my points, at these specific locations. And I didn't adjust anything. So I'm just matching the grade. So what I want to do is I want to grade from this point, like 98 to 99 at 2% across. Once I get done with that area, I want to move up. I want to go 99 to 77, 2% across, 77 to 103, 2% across, and so on. You just keep doing that, okay? Now, it's probably a good idea when you drop your points here to put those, just mark them in marking paint, so you know as you're grading not to go beyond those without selecting the new points, if that makes sense. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm on the emulator, which is it's kind of goofy. If I try to do these points right here, it's going to give me some whacked out numbers because the emulator just thinks that everything's built perfect right here. And something to do with the pole height in there. I don't know. I don't want to mess around with it. So for the example, I dropped these points right here on the center line. So I got 82, 83, 84, and 86. And I'm going to, like I said, for this example, we're just going to say this is our saw cut line, and we're going to go 2% to the right because I'm starting here and going that way. Okay. Now to do that, I'm going to select out of the bunch. I got 3 options. I'm going to select sloping plane. My origin point is going to be 82, so I'm going to select that one. I could be on that one, but I'm going to select 82. And the direction I want to go, I'm going to select 83. Okay. Now when you're grading this section through here, you're not going to have any grades down here below the line. It's only above the line, and this line is infinite left and right. So that's why I say keep in mind that when you're grading along, it's going to give you grades over here, but they're going to be based off of these elevations. So that's what I was saying is, as you go along, put these paint marks down so you can remember to switch over to the next 2 points. Okay, so let's accept that. We're not going to change our main slope percent. We're going to change our cross slope. I want to go right 2%. So now we have a cross slope right at 2%. Okay, so down here, you can see anywhere below the line, I don't get any grades, but if I go above that line, then that's where I get my cut fill shows up. Now, one of the questions you might have is, how do you know that that's 2% up or down, because on a laser, you know, you have that little symbol that tells you which way the angle is, or, you know, which way it's going to slope. Some people may or may not know, on most of the decent, you know, name brand lasers like the Spectraphysics or the Topcon, kind of a Topcon fan myself, but Topcon lasers, like single or dual slope lasers, you don't necessarily have to go with that symbol for your slope direction. You can punch in the numbers differently, and that's what you'd be doing here. So the way to check this is I have 2% sloping up right here. So if I click out here on this blue line, it's showing me a fill of about right at 1.5. So I can kind of double check that. I can click that to 0. And you notice now it's at 0. So to check that even further, let's go to a negative number. Let's go -2. And that's what you would do like on a laser too. You just go and drop into a negative number. Now you can see I got a cut of 150. Okay, so another thing, I may have pointed this out on the other one because it pops up in all of these. You can do, first of all, let's do, say you were doing a V-ditch. Okay, so you can select both of these at the same time. So say you were doing a V-ditch, like a 2-to-1 V-ditch. Okay, so I wanted to go right 50%, and I wanted to go left 50%. We'll put that in there. Now you can see I got a fill of 37 over there. If I go about the same distance, somewhere in here, yep, pretty close. You can fill 37 there. Get down here, got 0. So that's kind of a cool feature. Now you could do a V or a crown that way. Now let's say you didn't know, how do I say that? So you have percent of your, or let me see, percent, you have percent slope, you have degrees, and you also have your ratio. So the cool thing about this is you only have to know one of them. Okay, so if you didn't know that a 50% was a 2-to-1 slope, you could check it right here, or you could just, you know, you only need to know that one of the numbers. So if I click on Runrise, you'll see it says 2-to-1. But what if you wanted degrees and you didn't know that that was 45 degrees? You could just click on degrees. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a 2-to-1 slope. 1-to-1 slope. Let's go back to percent. Let's type in 100% slope. So 100% slope is a 1-to-1. And we'll show that here. And it's also a 45-degree angle. So if I click here, it shows 45 degrees. What if you had a 4-to-1? What would a 4-to-1 be in degrees? 1402, and it would also be in percent, 25%. So, oh, and you can also put your offset in here. So if I had, what was I doing? No, I'm not going to change that. But if you, if you want to put an offset in there, you can put their offset in there as well. But yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. Like I said, you could do a nice V. You could do just sloping in one direction or the other direction. You can change the percent of your main fall here. And you could do a crown. There's quite a few different things you could do with it. But you're just gonna grade those areas along like that. And it comes out, it's pretty easy to do by yourself. So try that out. Maybe pick a spot on the job. I always have a garbage work order somewhere that I use. Change project. There's a ton of work orders, but I always have some garbage work order that I test things out on. So just get your garbage work order out, start taking some shots, and oops, oh, I staked it. What am I doing? Measure. Just start taking some shots and playing around, and see what you can come up with. All right, that's it. Matter. Exit. Yes.